Hey everyone, welcome to my very first video. I am really excited to finally have a Patreon, to have it launched, and to just genuinely do what I love. It's really cool to be here, and I hope that you can just sit back and enjoy watching some art processes and me drawing SATO. SATO is one of my favorite characters that I've drawn so far. She started as just a sketch in my notebook at a coffee shop. I'm always sketching and trying out new poses, new types of faces, and I really resonated with her and how she turned out, and I had only drawn her face and still needed her pose. So hilariously enough, I actually took a video of myself in different poses, all trying to look as gangster schoolgirl as I possibly could. And eventually, after a couple takes, I came up with this pose with her sticking her knee out to the side and holding a ball and chain. And I really like how the pose turned out once I rendered it in my sketchbook. The original sketch is always pretty messy because I've done a lot of drawing and erasing and changing the angle of the face or the eyes or the position of the feet. Next, I transfer the sketch to a larger sheet of paper using sometimes sketch paper, but sometimes I'll just draw it on freehand depending on how I'm feeling. And then from there, I can just outline the whole thing with a watercolor pencil so that it's nice and smooth, and I can erase it but then also draw over it later. So I'm able to erase pencil lines and keep the watercolor pencil lines on the piece of paper. And then from there is the fun part. I just get to start coloring everything in with my alcohol markers. And guys, I just discovered alcohol markers this year. In fact, I got my first pack for Christmas. And oh my gosh, I'm obsessed. I think they are so much fun. I love drawing with them. They're so smooth. If you've ever used regular markers, you know how easily they create those streaky lines, and they don't look good when they layer over each other. And alcohol markers are just so satisfying. I mean, if you've never tried them, splurge, get yourself some, or ask for some for your birthday or Christmas, whatever, or Hanukkah, whatever. I really highly recommend it. And then from there, I just start to fill out the background. I always think it's nice to have a nice background to any picture. Yeah, it just seems to add more depth and more interest when it comes to the piece as a whole. And as you can see, I finished the whole drawing with a nice smooth dark outline. I don't like to use black for outlines. That's something I picked up from a lot of other artists on the internet, to use colors like blue or red, because it just can make the final piece look so harsh if you use a black marker or a black pencil. So it's something I just started doing last year, and I really do love it. The only problem that I have is I find that with colored pencils, I tend to have to press so hard and my hands start to get really tired. I find myself stopping and shaking them out or doing a couple stretches in the middle of a sketch, but I think the end result just ends up looking so crisp and beautiful. So yeah, you'll see at the end of the video the final result. I really love how she turned out, just the whole piece together, all of the colors working together. I loved her so much that I did decide to make this piece the free print that I was going to give out for all of the people who sign up for Patreon in the first month. So if you haven't signed up yet, now is a good time. If you want to pledge at any tier level, you will get I think it's a 4x6 print of this one, of SATO, of the finished. TBD, pay attention, I'll post it somewhere. But either way, I wanted to just give people a gift for supporting me and for just jumping in on this journey, even though it's just the very beginning. I'm so excited to have something like a place that's not just my own, but also for other people to come and just see what kind of art I do, but maybe even be inspired to do their own art, because I myself have been so inspired by so many other people. And if I can do that for even just one person, then I think that this whole Patreon deal is completely worth it. So I'm just so glad that anyone watching this video is here and taking the time, and again, maybe getting inspired to be creative. It doesn't even have to be drawing, it can be anything, right? Like art or music, or even creative in your own job, whatever you do. I just have found that my spark has just been so bright and so shiny and magical just from seeing the spark in others, especially other women. So I'm hoping that by coming here that you will find some of that magic and use it for yourself. Yeah. I must confess to you all that in the making of this video, and I guess I should say during the recording process, I had no idea what I was doing or what to say or even how to like test my microphone. So I'm gonna include like a blooper at the end of this video. It involves fart noises, so be warned. But yeah, thank you all so much for coming. I have so much more that I want to talk to you guys about when it comes to art, but also nerdy movies and TV shows and books and whatever other things that you guys might want to talk about. Maybe I'll even create a poll in my Patreon feed that you guys can answer and tell me what you want to hear, what you want to talk about. So yeah, thank you for coming, and I have a lot more on the way that I'm really excited to share with you guys. So stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Okay, is that it?